Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. Doing something a little different today. We're going to be talking eyeshadow looks without eyeshadow, without powder eyeshadow. I've got a whole bucket that I've been collecting and testing. We're gonna do some swatches. I do think easy, lazy eyes, sticks, liquids are incredible for mature eyes. So I'm going to show you guys some high-end, some low-end options, how to use. I'll show you how I like to wear the sticks and the liquid, which of these Longwear formulas actually can stand up to my test. So if you want to check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. All right, friends, I've said it before, I will say it again. I love a lazy girl eyeshadow look. One and done is awesome. Usually for those of us with a lot of texture and hooded eyes, maybe it's two, but I wanna show you guys how I've been loving both liquid and stick eyeshadows. Cream and liquid is so easy when it comes to like, you want a quick eye look, run out the door, and you know it's not gonna budge all day, no primer needed type of situation. So I'm gonna share with you all of them I have been testing, which ones live up to the hype, which ones have staying power and actually stay as long as they're marketed, and which ones really don't whatsoever. I was originally just going to do sticks, but I have had a newfound love of liquid eyeshadows. Now, by no means have I tried all of them on the market. There are a lot, but I have found that some of them truly live up to the hype. So we're gonna do a little comparison swatches of some pencil type products. I was on the hunt for finding an affordable one because let's be honest, I don't always want to spend over $30 on one eyeshadow shade. I like options on the daily. I went to Amazon and I bought anything that had any resemblance of a good rating. So I figured we could swatch them all, and I'm going to share with you guys the ones that really do actually last all day, and we'll do a little wear test. Okay, I am officially all swatched up. I'm gonna share the shades I have, so just so you can see some comparisons. I was going for a variety and I wanted to try different brands to see what smudged out, what set, what actually would last all day, and what truly just was all marketing hype, right? So first of all, here are the ones that I would consider high-end. These are Sephora. These are all Laura Mercier caviar sticks, which I feel like are very popular, very famous. This all started because I got a little trial size. I tried it and I was like, oh my gosh, that just lasts so long. And so then I got one to use as liner. I love the formulation of these. So here is the colors I have. Rose Gold, which is a shimmer. I use this to brighten inside corner, underbrow. Beautiful, like pinky gold color. Then I have Strapless, which is the other shimmer. Just kind of a nice neutral taupey shimmer shade. All Natural, which I thought was gonna be maybe like my lid color, but it is a little bit on the cooler side. It has a little bit more lavender in it, so it's not necessarily as neutral as I was expecting it. Cacao, which is just a beautiful medium brown, dark brown, I guess I should say. It's a dark brown. You could definitely use this as liner. And then I love this dark cacao. This is what I use as liner all the time. To me, it reminds me of like Revival, but with crazy staying power. So all of these I swatched. They've all set by now. I do feel like the shimmers might move a little bit more so than the mattes. The mattes have better staying power. Now, this one right here is the other one that's very popular. This is Bobbi Brown's Longwear Cream Shadow Stick. All of these, like as a full price stick, are over $30. So to me, that's a lot for one shadow, right? This one though moves. Can you guys see that? It's getting patchy, it's moving, whereas these are not. So that kind of, I love the shade of this. It's a very beautiful, bright, let's see, this is golden pink. Great highlight, it really catches the light. I do feel like this shade would be okay for inner corner unless you touch that area a lot, but it doesn't have the staying power. Laura Mercier takes the cake as far as Longwear, in my opinion, without budging, for high end. Next, we're hitting Amazon down to Drugstore. So obviously, once I started using these, I was like, but are there drugstore options that also will stay that aren't gonna cost me 30 bucks a shade? So I was looking for a beautiful metallic for the lid. I love just drawing on a nice shimmer and like blending it out on my lid for an easy go-to look. So that's why you'll see I got a lot of like nice shimmers, and then I got some mattes for either as liner or in the crease. This one I got, I think, in a FabFit Fun Box. So the first one I have is Thrive. This is kind of like middle of the road, not cheap, not high end, not like drugstore, but I'm impressed. Now, if I rub enough, we're good. It's not moving. It does come, it's like a pointier tip, and it does have a sponge to blend it out. So most of these type of sticks, this is considered waterproof. So this is the shade Kaylin, and it's a beautiful like brick red type brown, warm brown shade. I'm very impressed. It doesn't move. So that one is a winner. The next one is Julep Beauty. I think I got this one. This is a cream to powder eyeshadow stick. I believe I got this one on Amazon. It had pretty good reviews. Beautiful color. This is the shade Bronze Shimmer. Like the perfect tone of what I was looking for my lid. It also has a little spongy on the side. I will say I've tried this numerous times. When I put this all over my lid and then I use the sponge to blend it out, I feel like the color all just blends away. But if I put it on nice and heavy like this and then kind of just let it set, it has pretty good staying power. Not as good as some of these, but it kind of reminds me, it's a little bit better than even the Bobbi Brown, to be honest. It blends out a little bit. I will say that as a very oily eyelid girly, I could notice some fading throughout the day, but it's pretty smudge proof. You can see it kind of moves a little bit. So depending on that oilier eyelids, if you don't have oily eyelids, you might be cool with this one. If you do, you might need an additional eyeshadow primer like me. The next three I got in a bundle on Amazon. Obsessed with these colors. This is the brand Maybox. I thought the concept was so great because it has a little bitty cute brush on the end, right? It's a good, nice brush. And if you can get the cap back on without getting the bristles in it. And it came in a pack of 3. Obsessed with these colors. Like, what a beautiful shimmery collection. Doesn't have names on it. I should have known. But it's color 4, 5, and 6. There you go. Epic fail. Look at that. Like, that is exactly what I want to avoid with my eyeshadows. So no staying power whatsoever. I don't know who these would last on. I'd say maybe if you wanted to then like set it with a powder, maybe it would be better. But these were a epic fail. I don't know how these had like 3 or 4 stars. I really don't. Beautiful tones, maybe that's why. no, if it doesn't last, I don't want it. The next one from Amazon is Art Deco High Performance Eyeshadow Stylo. It says smooth formula, waterproof. This is shade 21, a nice pointed tip. Color's beautiful. I wish it was a little bit more bronzy. It's definitely more of like a copper tone, but it's beautiful. And look at this. That's what I'm talking about. Great Amazon find. Like if you're looking for a shimmer, I just don't think there was as many color options, but this is really beautiful. Shade 21. It reminds me of gilded eyeshadow, but look at that staying power. Oh yeah. To me, it is a little bit better than the Julep. Maybe not quite as good as the Laura Mercier. It's budging a little bit, but it is not like this whatsoever. Like the more I sit here and rub, the more it kind of loses its shimmer, but I don't think most of us are like sitting there rubbing our eyes that much. So it's got a little bit of budge, but for Amazon, I'd say very good. For the most part, most of the mattes, I would say really hold on better than the shimmers. So the best shimmers by far are the Laura Mercier. Okay, the next Amazon one had amazing reviews. I will say I will buy more shades from this brand because I'm so impressed with the longevity of this color. This is by Alleyoop. 11th Hour Cream Eyeliner and Liner Stick. This is the shade Coffee Break. It's just got, I've worn this so many times. I just grab it because it's the easiest thing to throw on my eye and blend out. Here is the color. It lasts so long. Now this is a matte shade. All of these up here were shimmers except for the Thrive one. So I do think just the mattes stay a little bit better. I do feel like it blends out. It moves a little, if you can kind of tell. The oil from my fingers can kind of get it to smudge slightly, but wearing this, it blends out really great and it lasts pretty long time on my eyes. So this one is a winner from Amazon in my book. Next two are straight up. You can find them at the drugstore. NYX Jumbo Crowns, I feel like are eye pencils. You see them all the time. My daughter had this one in her collection. She uses it just for like inner corner under brow highlight. And I'd say for that purpose, they're probably not bad, but they don't really have good staying power. They're not what I would consider that long wear like most of these other crayons are. And then I was super excited when I saw L'Oreal was coming out with their own. This is the Le Shadow Stick. I love L'Oreal's products. Magnetic Bronze is the shade. Gorgeous color. Gorgeous, but it does move. So I have been able to wear this color, just I do have to set it with an eyeshadow in order to get better longevity because yeah, it just doesn't have the staying power like even this one from Amazon. If only I could get this color in this one. I'm gonna have to go back. Maybe there's more colors by now. So my choices, if you're willing to spend the money, Laura Mercier takes the cake as far as all formulations, longwear, edge proof. Great for oily eyelids. For the road, Thrive Cosmetics, their Infinity Waterproof Eyeshadow Sticks, they do last a really long time. I'm very impressed with at least this matte color. I'm not sure about their shimmers because I haven't tried it. And then these are my top two Amazon finds, Art Deco and Alleyoop for a shimmer and a matte go-tos. So let's go ahead and do a quick eye look with just sticks. I've been doing this so much lately. And this is what I would do. I'm just gonna show you guys this one from Alleyoop. This is what I've been doing. I just take this and I messily, I mean, that was way too messily, but you know what I mean. You have a little bit of playtime to play with it. And I'm just gonna take a dense brush that I can then blend it into the crease. Now, because I have hooded, mature eyes, I am not going to just take a shimmer all the way up to this area. It really shows texture on me. Doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter what it is. I have to keep my hood nice and matte. But do you see how beautiful that blended out? It takes me 2 seconds and I suddenly feel like my eyes look way, way better. Now I love this color also because you guys know I like to always halo and poke my eye out. But that has been one of my go-tos. That color is so good. Coffee Break. It does have a liner or a sharpener in the other end, just FYI. Most of them I think do. The other one from Amazon does as well. Just kidding. The L'Oreal one does not, but even the Thrive one does. It has the smudger. And now these smudgers I feel like are great in concept, but sometimes they do smudge it out too much. So I do prefer a brush. That's why I had high hopes for these, but quality is just not there. Okay, so if you use it and like you're like, okay, but I blended a little bit more, I want a little bit more depth. That's why I love these sticks. You can just go in with a little bit more. You can still build up, but they don't crease or get patchy. Gosh, I love an easy eye. So to me, that would be a really quick, easy eye. Probably end right there. But let's take it up a notch. Let me show you how I use some of the other colors. So Laura Mercier in rose gold. These little sticks, you can sometimes find a few of the colors in the little ones so you can try them on Sephora, or sometimes they're like a birthday gift or part of the Sephora rewards. So that's how I got this one. And like, so easy. I love you don't even need a brush with that. So that's rose gold just as a nice quick highlight. Take a little bit of that Strapless color, which is a nice kind of like shimmery taupe. And it's light enough that I can just kind of throw it on my lid and it's not going to be too dark. Now, some of these other colors, like this Art Deco one I really liked, it was pretty dark. I would probably concentrate that more along the lash line than like an all over the lid color, which is why I'm still trying to find like a really good shade like these, but that will last. Now, when it comes to using one as liner, they're so good because they are budge proof, but you really need to make sure if you just take this big tip along the lash line, unless it's a light enough shade that you can kind of buff it out, it's a little bit too dark, like a really thick line. So I like to take an eyeliner brush, something a little bit with like small dense bristles. This is the Nikki BK Beauty brush in 12. And I just like to run it along the tip. And that way you can kind of just smudge it into the lash line. Now, obviously the more defined the brush you pick out, the more defined your liner can be. This one's a little bit wider, so it gives like a nice diffuse line. But you can grab a very detailed brush, like an angled brush, if you want to wing it out, create a little bit more definition along the lash line. Obsessed with that color. I mean, started my love affair. Dark Cacao. If you love Revival, you'll love this. Staying power is phenomenal and it makes green eyes, hazel eyes really pop. Okay, so there you go. There is my stick review. What do you guys think? Have you used a stick? Like, they're so easy. I feel like I love my eye look. It took no time. If you do have one that tends to crease or tends to maybe not last or smudge off a little bit, you can easily just take fluffy brush, translucent powder even, and just go over it on your eye and set those creams in place. Just like creams on our face, you can set those eyeshadows in place, and it's gonna help the wear time, longevity, as well as using an eyeshadow primer under it. So those are both options. Let's be honest, like when it's busy in the summer and I'm like going out to baseball games, I love being able to just take a stick and run it on my eye, blend it out, and be good to go. It takes me a lot less time than even sometimes an eyeshadow would. So just an option. I love a good cream for us mature-eyed ladies as well. It's a good thing. Now it's time for our liquid side. Now, I've been getting into liquids more and more. Now I do have one cream, the rest are all liquids. I'm telling you, if this doesn't work for you, I implore you, I challenge you to find a liquid, at least these, do not budge. Like, I hope I can get these off of my arm. Now, once again, the shimmer, I feel like these can flake because they just dry down so much. So like, the shimmer's the only one that's budging. The rest of them are mattes though. And I did lay them all down pretty heavy. I don't wear them this heavy. So here are my thoughts. Let's go over what I used. First up, Kulfi. Love everything I've tried from this brand so far. This is the Zari Eyes eyeshadow in Bronze Brocade. This color, okay, so here it is once I've rubbed off the top layer of shimmer. Let me show you what it looks like. I picked this out of a FabFitFun box because I really wanted to try this formula. I had heard really good things. Now, upon initial swatching, you can see it has a lot of shimmer and like almost like big pieces of like even like silver. I don't want to say glitter, but it does have bigger pieces of glitter in it. Now, when I started rubbing all of those bigger pieces of shimmer, totally came off. Again, not that you'd be like rubbing your eyes, but just a heads up. And you can definitely put this on lighter as well and just get a little bit of that shimmer. Obviously, all of these are looking really dark because I put them on like full opacity. I'll show you how I apply them. I usually use very little, blend it out so you get a nice blend. But as far as staying power of like the pigment, and yet you can still see the shimmer, it's just not quite as intense once it dries down. These pot ones are the only creams I have, and they definitely last. They definitely last. They definitely dry down. As far as like, this one is not flaking or anything. It's just these bigger pieces of like white shimmer. Do you see that silver? The silver pieces kind of disappeared once I rubbed it off. But the color endured. So it gives a beautiful, beautiful sheen to the lid. Now, I'll be honest, I only have like one low end, what I would consider low end Amazon / drugstore find as far as a liquid eyeshadow. If you have more suggestions, please let me know down in the comments, because it's something that I really have been loving, but you just don't see a lot of them. And most of these are Sephora products. So another one I found, well, requested in a FabFitFun box is the Ilia Liquid Powder Matte Eye Tint. And this one has a doe foot applicator. Now, when I apply it heavy, you can kind of see it did flake on me. Let's see what happens. This is a very dark shade. This is the shade Baroque. And let's just show what it looks like blended out. Beautiful. If you like a burgundy color, so pretty. I have worn this and it wore really beautiful on me. I just feel like all of these, I should have blended them out when I swatched them. So let me do that real quick. I went ahead and put them on and blended them out a little bit so you guys could see. I feel like the issue literally repairs itself for all of them, except maybe the shimmer. I feel like the shimmer, I'm still getting similar like the shimmer just tends to move more. Like now suddenly I have shimmer in all of my swatches because I did this and all of the shimmer went to the rest of them. So these are all matte. It's just hard to tell now because this was the shimmer. Can you even see it? We have Ilia right here. Beautiful kind of like burgundy shade. When blended out, really pretty. Would make a fabulous liner, liquid liner. As long as it doesn't get too thick where it would like flake off, I think it would make a beautiful liner shade. The next two, I was actually sent the first one in PR. This is Violet FR. You Paint, I believe is how it's pronounced. The second one I bought on my own because I was so obsessed with the first one and I wanted a darker color of like a one and done eyeshadow. It's a matte liquid eyeshadow and liner is what they call it. All different shades. Here's the two I have. The first one is Petite Culotte and the second one is Tote Du. I never took French, okay? I took Spanish. I don't know how to pronounce them. Fun new brand is hitting Sephora last Friday. If this video goes up on Wednesday, it'll be last week. Love the brand. They have fabulous products. So I got this one for just like an all over lid. Like it's very similar in my opinion to what I used here in my crease. But then for a slightly deeper shade, oh, this shade is gorgeous. A little bit warm. Here's what it looks like in the bottle. A little bit warm, a little bit darker, but what's great about these is that you can use very little and almost sheer it out. It's like a wash, like a stain. They don't go anywhere. I've worn those hundreds of times. They really have amazing longevity. I wanted to show you guys this one. I did not like blend it out because I wanted to show you guys how very little these, how very pigmented, a little goes a long way. This is the Danessa Murix Colorfix Mattes. It's a waterproof matte liquid pigment. Now this is a full face product, meaning you can use it eyes, lips, cheeks, anywhere. They have tons of shades. This is a matte one. They also have shimmers. This is the shade Desert Rose, and it is ridiculously pigmented to the fact that I'm just gonna put a tiny little dot so that you guys can see how much color that is. They're incredible, but you almost have to be very careful. like you have to use so little. Sometimes it's hard to use like such little product, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys. But you could put some on your hand, like the back of your hand, pick up a little bit, use it as blush, use it as eyeshadow, give yourself a really monochromatic look, put it on your lips, all the things. Beautiful tone. I guess I was feeling these burgundy tones because I just kept picking out more burgundies. I obviously love burgundy. So that is the Danessa Murix. It didn't even flake when put on heavy, like none at all. So that is what it would look like if you put on heavy as a liner. Gorgeous. It definitely deepens the shade a lot when you don't sheer it out. The next three probably aren't gonna surprise you at all if you follow me over on IG. I've had a love affair with these and they are pricey, but they are so good. So I shared a reel where I was using this color. Easiest eyeshadow ever. This is the Giorgio Armani. Oh, I hate the way they name these. They have more names on Sephora's website, but it's their eye tint. It's a liquid eyeshadow. This is 30M. So this is 30M right here in the middle. Right here, it is a very cool to neutral taupe color. So they're just liquid eyeshadows. You can dot them on, blend them out. They don't go anywhere. Literally easiest 2-second eye ever. And they don't budge at all, okay? So let's see if they flake at all. Not flaking, not budging. Now, I wanted this color since before Christmas, it was always sold out. This one is 22M. I know it's called something like Cashew. This is the slightly warmer color. So this is a little bit cooler, great to give you like more of a contour to your eye. If you like a bronzer eye look, if you like a warmer eye like me, this one, 22M, is beautiful shade. Well, I tend to use it in the crease, blend it out, fabulous, right? I wanted to try a shimmer on the lid or to brighten. So I grabbed the only shimmer that was in my Sephora. This is 12S. It was right there, guys. It completely flaked off. Okay, then I put it right here. You can probably see a little bit, but this is what I'm telling you. The shimmer just moved. This is probably like when I've tried it, it just doesn't seem like it's there for very long. So maybe it's a similar, like a formulation thing with, I had high hopes because these don't budge. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. Maybe their shimmers just aren't quite, obviously there's a difference in formulation between mattes and shimmers. So I don't know if I'd recommend the shimmer, but if you're just gonna like brighten with it, I don't know. I think I would recommend the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick. It's actually an easier application. You don't need a brush. This is almost has to be sheared out, so you need very little of it. It's easier to apply with a brush. I think I'd prefer the stick. So I'll show you guys how I do use this, but as you can see, longevity is just not gonna be there. My like holy grail find of a very long time is this next product, and spoiler alert, when it's finally back in stock, I will share it in a reel and it'll probably sell out again, but I cannot ever, every time I look, it's out of stock. Every time I look, it's like, it can't stay in stock. It is an Amazon product and it is a dupe for the Armani eye tints. I understand why it sells out because it is not only a dupe and has a ridiculous, perfect, long wearing, no budge liquid, almost identical, but the color. So this is the warm Armani, this is the cool, this is the Amazon. And there it might be kind of hard to tell, but it's almost like right in the middle. I think I put too much on here so you can tell it looks darker, but the brand is called Lamel, Mad Eyes Eyeshadow Long Lasting Matte Formula. I'm just gonna use this one. I'm not kidding when I say it is literally incredible. It's got a little bit, it's got the same kind of applicator that like the Violet FR ones do. It's just like a little flat doe foot. It makes like putting on a small amount really easy. So this is how I do my quick liquid eye routine. I make sure I don't already have creases, and then I just dot a few, that might be too much, a little bit in the crease. Obviously, I can use the same brush, let's clean it off, that I used for the other side. You just kind of want a dense brush that can blend this out. Obviously, you gotta like work, not super fast, but before it dries. I feel like both the cream sticks and the liquids have a little bit of workability, but you don't want to do both eyes at the same time. Like you want to dot on one eye, blend it out, then go to the next eye before it sets. Because once it sets, it's not going anywhere. So I tend to use my fingers to kind of blur out the edges just because there's a lot of pigment. But I would say the Violet, the Armani, or the Amazon one, all of these are so easy, again, to just do this one and done all over the lid or just in the crease. Now, when I go to the lower lash line, I do feel like this is so pigmented. I don't like to go straight in, and I like to pick a little bit more of a detailed brush just to get a tiny bit, because otherwise it'll be a little bit too dark and intense. And then I use my finger to kind of blur it out. because there's a lot of pigment there. So this is the shade 401. Now, there are 2 other shades on Amazon from this brand that are like always in stock. And one of them is like a dark burgundy shade. And then one of them is like a green, like olivey undertone shade. So if those are up your alley, you might be able to pick that up before it comes back in stock. But I will link all of this down below. So let's go ahead and pick up the Kulfi. I feel like this one is so pigmented as well that I don't even know if I would pick up a brush. To really control it, I like to just use my finger, like I barely tapped in. And I'm just gonna kind of press that on the lid, and I'm gonna use a clean finger to kind of just press it out. And then if you need more, go back to where your product was. And I'm just kind of using my clean finger and where the product is to kind of build up. It is a beautiful color. I loved that bronze brocade. Now, if you're gonna use a color like this one is 12S. It's like a cool shimmer. Again, you can paint these on the back of your hand. They just dry down pretty quickly. So you kind of gotta work a little bit faster. I'm just gonna pick up this on a tiny little brush, and it's like painting. Give myself a little bit of highlight. I feel like maybe if you concentrate this to a very small portion of the face, like inner corner, under brow, maybe it'll last. It's a beautiful shimmer though, it really is. I'm disappointed it's not better. So if you guys have tried any shimmer liquids that are next level longevity, please share them with me. Since I did a little bit of like burgundy liner on this side, I mean, I know they're not gonna be equal per se, but I'm gonna use a little bit of the Danessa Myricks, this liquid colorfix, and let's see, what brush should we use? I'll pick up the in 11, this like nice flat brush, because I don't want to pick up too much product, but I want to be able to see it. So I'm just gonna kind of stamp it on the back of my hand so I can stamp it on the eye. Oh, that makes a fantastic liquid. It's so pretty. Can you guys see? Oof, that color. If you like, you guys, if I could even tell you how very little of that product, I still have the entire drop on my hand. So if you're using it as a liner, this tube will last you an infinite amount of time. You will never need another one. I love how multi-purpose these are. They're so good. So there you go. There's 2 really quick eye looks, creams, liquids. Pick your poison. What do you guys think? Do you like using non-powder eyeshadows? I'm very curious. I feel like it's fun to play. It's also easy and fast. And sometimes I just want to be able to throw on one color all over the lid. And I do feel like these are really great options. If you have more mature eyes like me, grab yourself a matte and maybe a shimmer to kind of highlight and throw in the middle of the lid, and you're good to go. It probably is faster for most of us. But I'm curious if you guys have a favorite or a preference. Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you need help with your powder eyeshadows, I do custom matches for those. I'll put my link down in the drop box and the pinned comment. Obviously, powders are going to be a no-fail for most of us, especially if you have oilier eyelids. You might have issues with some of these breaking down, or these might be a better option for you. It's one of those things that you don't really know until you try it. But if you're looking for a powder to set over your eyes, or you just maybe you have a favorite stick and you're looking for a companion setting powder, as you will, an eyeshadow that's not going to change the color of this, but it's going to give maybe just up your longevity a little bit more. I do that all the time. So you can always shoot me a picture of what you're looking for, and I can tell you what your best bet as far as a powder eyeshadow would be as well. What do you guys think? Do you think sticks and liquids are gonna be having their time this year like I predict? I still think lazy eyeshadow is having a moment. I'm here for it. I'm curious if you guys are as well. As always, thank you guys so much for being here and watching, and I'll see you next week. Love you.